look at these 18th century wooden churches. So this one was 17 something. So they are kind of rare because, well, when the parish became more prosperous, definitely people reconstructed them into just stones. And architecture-wise, this one is perfect in its shape, and it's like just a small tower, and again, every step. While we come inside, we could see a couple of interesting things, and specifically, I would attract your attention to the Bible, because it's one of the biggest artifacts in Germany. Thank you. Got it. Thank you. My pleasure. How uncomfortable it is and how the church is Lutheran one, and definitely it's consecrated. So there are more regular services here, but on some occasions, just waiting for the place here and some celebrity events. And on such occasion, the priest is especially invited to the church. Well, it has quite a altar part, or quite modest pulpit, another thing which might be different from other churches. There is no organ, and instead we have clavichord. There is no and also, just what is interesting, this church has a beautiful
second war members and from this region, and they died in Second War.
The Latvian language has nothing to do with Russian. It belongs to the Indo-European language tree, but it's all about, together with Lithuanian, and there was previously another language, Prussian language, which died out. Yeah? Altogether, we belong to those called the Baltic Slavic languages, but it's a huge about. Yeah? The Lits, however, they belong to an absolutely different tree, which is a Ural language tree, and it's together it's Finno-Ugric languages, right? So together, so you speak about leaves, but they are together with Estonians and not just Estonians, as well as Finns. So just when you listen to their language, you still hear what you find more similarities with Finnish language than with Latvian language. We still have 300 speakers of this language nowadays, but definitely, well, it's protected and everything, but yeah, the situation of this, like, just endangered languages. Yeah. So that's an interesting part of it, but we cherish their tradition because they give a lot to our common heritage and how they built up the family. And again, we have to be thankful to the leaves, in my opinion, because Slavic people, they are more patriarchal, which means that, well, just the man is the head of the family and that the whole hierarchy is built around. So basically, women are in much inferior positions, which should not be said about leaves. So somehow women took all this, just kind of quite high position in the family, but they also participated in these tribe gatherings. So they had a voice, which probably went further nowadays. Well, just women again, just they have more right of saying here. Yeah, here it's by the way, well, just a good example how those belts are created. That's another, just very interesting thing. But what I wanted to show to you specifically, on the bus I mentioned that all castles were built usually into places where previously some wooden castles stood. And those wooden castles were mostly built by leaves. So basically when you look at this maquette attentively, you see that you have roughly the same castle. Simply, just technology was different and was made of wood. But the structure is the same. Right in here in the 12th century, and a bigger part of their agenda was to baptize the land, and they were quite successful in it. And one of the first chieftains who baptized was the Kaupo, and there is a famous episode when he asked to bring his horse, and depending on the side his horse would turn, depended his fate as a just new Christian. The horse turned in the right direction and he accepted, just the face, and he was baptized. Well, still we have this notion of the horse of fate, and usually it has like two hats. We have it in jewelry, we have it, we'll see it later. Anyway, the best part of the story is not this just fairy tale-ish component, which is very often mad. The best part of the story is in this map. Look at the date, it's 1203. So roughly, it was nearly the year when he got baptized, and this small, just chieftain from God's forgotten land, see Ture, right? It was not in America, just in Ture. He traveled all this way to get the audience with the Pope. That's, just a zeal, just you could call him zealous, but just that was a zeal. And what's even more interesting that he came back, right? We have to actually start with the Soviet times, because the Soviet Union was really to deal with Bishop Albert managed to establish Riga because he joined his forces with the forces of the Brotherhood of Swords. But then, yesterday I mentioned that at some point the Brotherhood of Swords was defeated. Bishop remained. So the next branch of Livonian Teutonic Order came. Later it was renamed into the Livonian Order and became famous, the land of leaves, as you can understand now. Well, anyway, but they were never on friendly terms, and that's why the river Gauja, which was very important because that was the river where you could float the wood, and also it was important to cover all these trade routes with the east. Well, the banks of this river, they were subdivided, and this bank was controlled by bishop people, another bank was controlled by crusaders, and that. And there are some records also, like drunk knights kidnapped bishop, and then the complaint goes to the Pope, and just all this chaos and all this change. Anyway, how Bishop, when he arrived here, yes, the place was definitely not heated, and the heating existed right in its original form only in his room, and it was only because his room was built on the top of smithery, so just naturally this air went further. Walking around, you could understand in what conditions, inhuman from our perspective, conditions people lived here. However, they didn't allow locals to live here, so locals arrived here only to probably just cook some food, to do some basic chores. The place was self-sufficient because it contained what? The well, bakery, brewery, which was also important, and smithery. The food was brought here, but when you look at this tower, for example, you immediately understand why. Well, just look at the door, but it was not the door which was created. The only door to enter this tower, because it was like the last defense point, this tower, and if the castle was under siege, so all people they gathered inside of this tower. The door existed only at that height. So basically there was the wooden staircase, and if the enemy was attacking, the staircase was removed. So basically people were very often doomed if they were sieged. They could only hope for the help from outside or for some changes when the enemy would disappear. So that was their criteria.
You don't stop me when I say too much. I swear that you can read my mind. Say you love me in the way you touch, and it feels right. 'Cause I'm looking at you and it's all in your eyes. All of me, all we need for the rest of our lives. Meant to be, I can see it. Oh, I was made for you, and I always knew. Like puzzle pieces, we go together. And I'll always choose me and you, 'cause I believe it's us till forever. Anywhere you go, I'll go, 'cause you feel like home. 'Cause I always knew I was made for you. I was made for you, made for you, made for you. Never been so sure to tell you something. Picturing her 60 like it's nothing. Sleeping next to you, and I don't know how I did this without you. 'Cause I'm looking at you and it's all in your eyes. All of me, all we need for the rest of our lives. Meant to be, I can see it. Oh, I was made for you, and I always knew. Like puzzle pieces, we go together. And I'll always choose me and you, 'cause I believe it's us till forever. Anywhere you go, I'll go, 'cause you feel like home. 'Cause I always knew I was made for you. I was made for you, made for you, made for you. Wake me up skin to skin. I was made for you. How close to you can I get? I was made for you. With you there's no regret, 'cause I play for keeps. This is it for me. Feel like home. 'Cause I always knew I was made for you. I was made for you, made for you, made for you. Wake me up skin to skin. I was made for you. How close to you can I get? I was made for you. With you there's no regret, 'cause I play for keeps. This is it for me. I was made for you, and I always knew. Like puzzle pieces, we go together. And I always